Радио Atlantic Bay. Радио под шум прибоя.
Гость студии. Atlantic Bay. Гость в студии.
Здравствуйте, дорогие друзья, здравствуйте, дорогие радиослушатели Радио Atlantic Bay. С вами программа «Гость в студии». И сегодня у нас в гостях кандидат в мэры Большого Монктона Эрик Джинглз. Hello, Eric. Eric, we know you as a public figure, not a politician. I think it will be very interesting for our listeners to get you know better. Tell us please about yourself, about your family.
Well, we have a family of 5, my wife and 3 girls. The youngest is in her first year of university. I'm from Monktone. I went to high school here. I went to UNB in Fredericton, and I have a double major in marketing and English literature. I worked for a year in Monktone, and then I ended up going to Japan to teach English. The plan was to be there for 6 months, maybe a year. And we ended up being there 9 years altogether. That wasn't the plan, but that's the way it worked out. We were in Nagano, where the Winter Olympics were in '98, which was an amazing opportunity and time. And at that time, I started writing a book about our experiences there. No particular reason. It just kind of happened by chance. I ended up writing articles for Maclean's magazine here in Canada and USA Today about the Olympics. And when I came back, I started working for the CBC. I worked as a story producer for a Discovery Channel series called The Frontiers of Construction that looked at major building projects around the world, which was very exciting. And then in 2003, I started my own marketing company, and it was just myself. And over the years, it was built up to about 8 employees. A lot of our work is with the government, and when the government changed, so too did our fortunes. We moved into the startup world as well, and probably around 2012, we had developed a live streaming app from the iPhone. Now, as far as we could tell, in the entire world, there was only 2 other organizations that had that technology. One was in Sweden, and one was in Norway, and we had it here in Canada. And there was no one that we could tell anywhere in North America, in the US, or anywhere that had it. This was before Periscope, this was before Facebook, this was before YouTube live streaming. We had that technology, but I was unable to get it off the ground. I couldn't get the marketing money that was needed. I went to San Francisco, not San Francisco, but I went to San Diego, New York, Boston, various places, and all I kept hearing was, I don't understand why people would stream video from their phone. So that became something else, a pay-as-you-go model, and that became something else, which eventually became BuzzLocal. So about 4.5 years ago, almost 5 years now, we started BuzzLocal.tv as a way to engage the community in what's happening in their own backyard, because we found that there was such a loss of local news or local information that we thought it's really important for people to know what's happening and to give it more time. Now, the first couple of years, all we did was live stream. Like, we did the mobile live streaming, we used our own platform. Now, unfortunately, we do very little live streaming in that regard, and it's all recorded and edited. There are pros and cons to both things, but that's how I got more involved, I guess, in the community and what is happening. I still have my marketing company, still do marketing work as well, so it makes for long days, but I feel that it is very important for people to really, truly get a sense of their community. And in the time that I've been doing BuzzLocal, I've interviewed over 2,300 people in the past 5 years. So I have a real sense, I guess, of what's happening in the community and where the pain points are, where people are happy, what things people are looking for. And that's why I thought, knowing what I know of the city and then doing the coverage that we do at City Hall, because I do an 8-minute summary of each of the council meetings, which means I've been at pretty much every council meeting, and I've had to pay attention because I'm writing the summary for each one, that I would see sort of a disconnect between what I'm seeing with people that I'm interviewing in the community and throughout the city compared to what's happening at City Hall. And I feel strongly enough about this that I feel that a lot of things are being missed, And I think that money is not being spent properly. I think that there's a lot of need in the community. There's a lot of pain in certain parts of the community that help be alleviated and helped that's not being. And I think there's a lot of opportunity as well that is being missed. And I think things that could benefit the entire city. And so that's why I decided to throw my hat in the ring. And that's a little bit about me.
Eric, why did you decide to become a mayor of the city? Did you have any doubts about how difficult was this decision?
As for the question as to how difficult, or if I had any doubts how difficult this would be, no. I went into this with my eyes wide open. It's always the case that the incumbent has the advantage. And there has never been anyone elected mayor from outside council before in the history of Monktone. So I'm hoping to make that history. I think now is a time is right to be able to do something like that because I do have an online presence. I have been in the community reporting on it for the past 4.5 years. And I think that because I've been at council, as every councillor has been, and I've paid attention because I've had to write summaries after each one, I have a strong sense of what's happening in the council, what the decisions that have been made, and who the players are, and what's happening. Yet I don't really wear any of the missteps that might have happened at council, so I can have that knowledge base, but still start fresh. But it is an uphill challenge, and I've been excited by that. I mean, I went to Japan with no job, no place to stay. We ended up staying 9 years, coming back with a child. I started my own company when I came back. So I'm not afraid of challenges. Actually, I like the challenges because there's so much that can be done. And because I care so much about the community and see the things that are happening in the community, and like I said, it's sort of the disconnect, perhaps, of the things that happen at City Hall, I feel it's really important. And I think now is the time to make this history, to do better for Monktone.
Eric, if you are winning an election, what the problem would you tackle first?
When I win the election, there are many things that we need to tackle. I've heard a lot from people about public safety, and not just, in general, but particularly downtown. There's a lot of vagrancy. There's a lot of people who are afraid to go downtown to our shops and to our restaurants, and that's just not the Monktone that I grew up in. Like, that makes no sense to me that people would actually say out loud that they are afraid to go downtown. They are afraid to go to a restaurant. I had one person say that they used to take their kids to the Capitol Theatre productions, which are amazing. And what an amazing opportunity for a city the size of Monktone to produce such quality content on stage. And they said that the last one they didn't go to, and this is prior to COVID, because he didn't want his kids to see or be accosted as they were getting to the Capitol Theatre from the parking lot. This is unacceptable. So there are many things that we need to look at, and we sort of have to do things simultaneously. There are many things that we have to work on, and a lot of them have to be worked on at the same time. Otherwise, it's really all for naught. We need to work on public safety in terms of better community policing, and we also need to spend a lot more time and effort and money in supporting things on the ground, particularly things like youth mental health services, or things like the Boys and Girls Club, or Big Brothers Big Sisters. These type of organizations that help our youth develop properly. At the same time, we need to look at the vagrancy and the crime that's happening downtown and have more of a police presence in taking care of that.
Eric, and the last question, what is the main reason that voters should come and vote for you?
That is a fair question. I can say that over the years that I have grown up in Monktone, the changes that I've seen in Monktone, my knowledge base of council and things that are happening around the community, my ability to have vision, I guess you could say, for things that need to be done. My general philosophy is stop telling me you can't do something, but let's figure out how we can do something. And I think that there are so many things that we could be doing that'll be just wonderful for Monktone, and not just for some, but for all. And a vote for me is a vote in making that happen.
Thank you, Eric. It was very interesting. Но для вас, наши дорогие друзья, это ваше решение избирателей, идти голосовать за Эрика или нет. А я напомню, с вами был я, Владимир Либуркин, и программа «Гость в студии». А в гостях у нас был Эрик Джинглз, кандидат в мэры города Большого Монктона. Спасибо за внимание и до новых встреч!